yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah.
People Prime. People Prime. They said right
Okay.
now, People Prime.
Um,
Right, somewhere on
I'll get
Corey
in
Road,
contact with you
they ain't
when
got
I
too
finish
far.
this thing. Okay.
Yes, there's a walk it on.
Okay.
Saying it's supposed to start from 9:30, but they ain't started yet. For the hour. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you remember I read on my on the foot. You read what I read under the foot. All right. So how you gonna ask me about who do that? I don't want that. That's not on that. So
On
I Friday I put the lettuce and the on the spinach in the frying pan with the bottom. I put egg over it. I left that fried on. That's it. I fold the egg. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know when you put stuff inside it. I do it myself. Mm.
Hey, my feet in, we said that. Okay, let me take a I gotta go to the, if he comes in, ask him if he could assist Papa Bluefoot. Jody going over there? See you done tennis court? Okay, okay.
Every function, they have, they thought was that, that's why I said, they said that? That one time.
Yeah.
Always late. They all the function, they come on time. It's like, what you doing, so I mean, if you have someone for an assignment, and you know this pre-on, well, listen, tell the people that come to work
Yep.
hours or so before,
Yep.
get equipment ready, check equipment,
That's right.
It's not yet?
load up and go, and go.
It's start yet? What up? Okay,
You
okay,
know,
so I can call
if
you
you was
before
actually
you
start on
them
time,
cancel.
only you was getting this, only you was
I
getting
know,
this.
right? Yeah.
Okay.
Because you'd be starting in.
You start,
Yeah.
you ain't waiting, you're starting. Shit, don't gotta start after you.
No.
You can
no.
start putting them to the vibe on, listen, we start 10 o'clock, you here?
That's right.
You over here? You can miss something. Yo, come on, what yours all the news? Y'all don't come on time.
Morning, Mark. It's just
I was watching the Miami news just now, man. That's one of the worst part of America. Miami.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Something always happening there.
Yep. That's right.
It's nobody. I get this is where I go for the next 5 weeks.
You have 5 weeks.
Like I must have already sent the whole lot up there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You said that.
You know, then I'm on serious place, I know.
I know, right?
I got a lady also. I think she worked with Jordan. Let me see what her name is. This is the name of this girl. I must see what her name. She you know. Hey, what we call an athlete, what's an athlete? Shashina?
Hello.
Yeah, after just find out the status. And then the least make up.
Like babies, man. Every assignment you have to call Natalie.
See, you say it at the phone, you get that call for what's up.
Huh?
You say it on the phone, you call for what's up.
Morning, boss. You could cancel. Thank you very much. We, yes, my two my babies got clear. We got clear. All right. Thank you very much, sir. All right.
All of those are already set up. If we don't do that, that's to come. All right.
Test 1 2, mic test 1 2, testing 1 2, testing testing.
Pull up, yeah.
Yeah, just hit the pull up, yeah.
All right.
Is that nice reach?
Yeah.
Boy, they like to come right
I
on
should have said 10:30 instead of 10 o'clock.
They always like to come right on the time of the assignment. That's not how it works.
Oh, man. When did you do the video? It must be the setup and reading. I was the last one tell the people the commission up. And before the CP cut aside the room,
Yeah.
everybody knows what's on setup. Otherwise, they on it.
Yeah.
That's the setup.
Yeah.
So when you come aside, you start, you can go ahead. I start meeting. You can set up too. You have set up then.
And stateside, forget.
Oh, it's different.
You couldn't even get in the building.
Because you gotta get better place.
You
What do you
couldn't.
say? 10? Give me a spot for it. Give me that. Give me
Yeah.
that.
You couldn't get in the building if you were late. At 10 a.m. at the Broward Sheriff office, that would be 10 a.m.
What you told me? I would say, I would say Mexico. 6 weeks. Oh, my side. That was straight out the 40 race by his whole set now.
Yeah.
The airport, take a cover on here. So we go on to a press. We go on to a leadership course over there. And we just do the same thing with the media. Listen, they want me to come inside to come in at 4 minutes. And we went to Secret Service and FBI was our aide.
Yeah.
He said, man, those guys will come in by the night to get their credentials.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry for those guys, man. I pray they all come. F-15 was on 15.
Yeah.
10 to 5 aside. Sorry,
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good evening.
She tells say people she ain't working Friday. But she,
I'm working Friday evening.
oh, evening, okay.
But you know I couldn't miss this. Come on. Then we going to Maxie's. We celebrate.
Oh yeah, the Bahamian Beach Club.
Come on,
I'll see you there. Come with work right up. Yeah, come with work right up. I don't think we'll drive for that.
So what you calling my boss for? And your boss ain't even there on your way.
Hey.
Hey,
Hi, Mike. How you doing, sir?
I got.
How's that?
I thought you said last hour you get all the information from here.
Yeah, skip us outside.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I have to get from here.
You know, working hard.
Yeah, but she comes.
Working hard. This boy need to wake. Lazy. You need to roll. I know all the brothers them. Lazy.
Yeah, one of them lazy, son.
Lazy. I know them all.
One of your brothers like by our class, right?
Everything good.
Yeah, man.
Listen to me. Hey, listen to me. How much of them? And then you guys.
I met one. They look alike.
Yeah, they all
When
must
I
be
took
there.
them by the class the other day, and I asked him, I said,
One is behind there, one is behind there. Say he's fixing a motorbike. He's like, yeah.
morning.
Yeah, man. Good morning, ladies. Come in. Oh, man. Oh, Brother Bill,
Yes, sir.
I really need to talk to you after the meeting, please. It's very important.
Okay.
Just remember something.
Put your phone inside.
You tell me one of them coming closer. You good with that?
Yeah, good.
You all good?
You want to fix the light?
Good morning, press corps. First of all, I'd like to thank you for coming to this press briefing, which will be chaired by Superintendent Darrell, the OC of the Criminal Investigation Department, and his team. I ask that you listen attentively to what is being said. On completion, we'll have a brief question and answer period. Mr. Ware, at your inconvenience.
All ready?
1 second.
All right.
Good morning. I am Detective Superintendent Darrell Ware, Officer in charge of the Criminal Investigation Department, Grand Bahama. To my right, I got my deputy, ASP Nicholas Johnson. To my right, my inspector, person also responsible for serious crime, Inspector Armando Russell. We got Woman Sergeant Scott Russell, person responsible for financial crime, and Woman Sergeant leading to my right also. She's Quality Control Officer. This is my administrative team. The year 2022 has been the most challenging but successful year for us in the Criminal Investigation Department in Grand Bahama. I would firstly like to thank our Lord and Savior. Secondly, the hard-working staff of 22, which include of regular and reserve. And finally, the general public, who have been very cooperative in assisting us with our investigation. To date, there has been a slight increase in serious crime matters reported within the Grand Bahama District, which includes murder, attempted murder, armed robberies, rape, unlawful sexual intercourse, and fraud matters, which compared to last year. Although we have seen an increase when compared to 2021 and definitely 2020, it has been which has been expected after coming out of the pandemic, in which COVID-19 had us at pretty much a standstill. For the period under review, we have seen an increase as the economy continues to open and we return to some sense of normalcy. Although the department have recorded an increase in crime matters, we are also currently experiencing 80% plus solvency rate in matters having successfully been investigated and person placed formally before the court for these matters. Again, I would like to thank my hard-working staff under my remit and the general public for all assistance in bringing these matters to a successful closure. As we are about to enter the Utah season, I am appealing to the general public to be respectful to each other and do your best to resolve conflicts in the most sensible way without resorting to violence. We, the police, are your brothers, sisters, and family, and we ask you, the general public, to work with us in our quest to rid this country of the criminal elements and to conclude the year 2020 on a good note. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now entertain a few questions.
Good morning again. Azure 1 to ZNS. Superintendent, what is the greatest crime issue do we see here on the island? I know you list a number of them off earlier, and you talked about the increase, but which one would you say is the greatest?
Well, I won't say greatest. All crime considered that reported to us, we consider to be serious, and we take all with the same urgency. As I said, we had an increase in rape, murder, and all. We treat all with the same urgency to try to bring resolve to the matters reported to us.
In terms of the number of reports, which area?
But like I said, we have a slight increase. We had our armed robberies are up. We had quite a few, as you know. We had a concern with the rape early part of the year, and also to date we have 6 murders, and 4 of those have been successfully closed, and we have 2 outstanding.
Okay. Can we get a murder count for the year? And if there's any outstanding?
Yeah, we have 6 murders reported to date. 4 have successfully been closed, and we have 2 outstanding.
Okay. Now, lately it seems as if there has been an increase in missing persons. Why do you think there is?
Well, I think, as you are aware of, ASP Rule, our press officer, made a report. He made some brief on this a few weeks back. It's a collective of things that transpire, and at this point, I won't like to go too deep in it, but we just urge the general public who are persons who have some challenges to just be more watchful, and we must return to that village concept when we're dealing with people, and a neighbor must be a friend. If we see something, a person we know is a big challenge, reach out and try to steer them in the right direction instead of just seeing them wandering and don't try help.
Now, what are some of the protocols to carry out when a person is missing?
Well, the protocol clearly states you are to report to the police as quick as possible. Don't wait 2-3 weeks or a month or so in some instances. But as soon as you see a person is being missing, say within 24 hours, if you don't see them, just come to the police. That's why we are here to assist as much as possible.
Now, of course, recently we would have seen an uptick in high-powered weapons, and of course, you guys would have found it frequently. What is responsible for these sudden findings? Well,
as you know, the new commissioner's wisdom, Mr. Clayton Fernandez, since come and taken over the helm, he have implemented the new firearms unit, just dealing especially with firearms. And the officers have been on point. Maybe we are reaching out to our counterparts in the U.S. and it's been a collaborative effort to try to bring resolve. Because as we know, firearms is one of the leading causes in most matters we deal with pertaining to murders and armed robbery.
Now, last year, speaking of armed robberies and high-powered weapons, there were a number of gang-related activities. Have you seen a decrease in that this year? And, of course, gang-related murders.
Well, to be honest with you, we do our best to try to reach out to these young men, misguided young men, and do our best to try to bring resolve. We had some instances where a person was saying they part of affiliated with this, but I think this year we put a lid on it to say, but not to say finally bring a closure, but we continue to work to try to bring closure and try to steer these young men in the right direction.
Now, speaking of murder, in 2019, Kenarcana Monet Darbo, that case, have you guys gotten an update to the whereabouts? Are there any leads to the whereabouts of Kenarcana?
Well, as you know, the matter was investigated here in Grand Bahama. He was placed before the court. He was remanded to B-Docks. He was then released on bail. After that, for more information, He ran away. Since then, we put a red notice out where we reach out to our counterparts through Interpol, and they are assisting us. So wherever, if legally, if he's to travel anywhere, and he go through legal channels, the whole world through Interpol will be on the lookout and hope to bring him successful and return him to the Bahamas where he'll face the charges.
And continuing with murder punch, Omar Penn, do we have an update on his murder?
As you know, there's no statute of limitation on murder. We are still actively investigating the matter. Every time we get a lead, we continue to follow up on that.
And can we get an update on the Tynes-based skeletal remains?
The Tynes-based skeletal remains, that matter is currently in the pathologist's hand. We just know later yesterday we spoke with her, and we are just waiting to get an update from her as the direction we're going. But we are currently investigating and have officers looking into the matter as we speak.
Okay. Now, you spoke about rape earlier. Let's talk about marital rape. Have you been getting any reports on marital rape?
But I know that's a hot topic in the media at this time and throughout the country. But to date, we don't have no report of marital rape reported to us thus far for the year.
What about domestic violence? What are your domestic violence reports looking like?
Well, we have a few that we were able to deal with and persons put before the court after consultation with the Attorney General Office.
Okay, recently throughout Grand Bahama, it seems that there's an uptick in vagrancy. What are your comments on that?
Well, again, I spoke earlier in terms of people of special need and challenges. We have a lot of persons who are family members, and yes, they'll be wandering in the downtown area scenario. And family members, for some reason, just allow them to be there, don't check for them, and just let them be. But we as a force, we do our best to try to reach out and try to find help for them as much as possible.
Yeah, morning, sir. From Marlene and Leonard, our news. Do you have an update in the search for the 56-year-old Stephanie Chisholm of 8 Mile Rock?
Well, we still are looking into that matter. We stay in contact with the family, and we also reach out and we make checks in the neighborhood from time to time to make sure we're not giving up with her. And we appeal to the public, anybody who may have some sort of information could help us in trying to find Ms. Stephanie Chisholm. That would be greatly appreciated.
And lastly, we've been receiving a lot of reports regarding just small findings of marijuana. How is that going for you guys? Are you still seeing that continuation?
Well, as you know, it's still an offense to have marijuana, to use marijuana in Cumberland, Bahamas, and until some laws are changed, we will continue to prosecute people and arrest persons who are found in possession of marijuana.
Okay, is there anything else you would like to tell us?
I just like the general public continue to wait for your police. We are your friend, and we'll do our best to try to keep you safe. We intend to be the Grinch that stole Christmas from these criminals.
Okay, Chief, I haven't heard anyone really appealing to the public. Wherever you go in Grand Bahama, you hear with these young guys, everybody right now with a gun in their lap and all this stuff. They got guns around here. A lot of these young ladies swoop their boyfriend. They know their boyfriend or whoever they are friends have a gun. Would it be okay to appeal to the public and says, how about a designated area where persons who have guns to bring their guns in, but they, try to see if we can get the public to do some of that nature?
Well,
I saw it happen many years ago in Grand Bahama. It happened, and a lot of guns was returned. They brought in. I'm only trying to, there are a lot of guns out there, man.
I understand what you're saying, but that's something I think my boss, the CEO, the commissioner, and other persons will have to put in place, along with the government, to say bring some legislation to say amnesty. But you was trying to allude to bring 10 guns in and all that. But whenever they make the decision, it might be a great suggestion, But allow a person who are in possession of firearm, turn them in. And the person persons who have firearm, reach out to your local police and let us try to take them off the road.
Yeah. I think I got you where you're coming from. At the muffler house, where they repair mufflers there, someone told me that he was fixing this guy's car, and the guy said, he ain't coming with the car, we can stay in the car. They lift the car, and he had his gun. He had a big handgun inside, in his lap, and he there fixing getting his car fixed. So if you appeal to those business places where these persons go places. And tell them, call the police when they see things like this. You know, their name be anonymous and everything like that, you know.
Yeah, most certainly, most certainly. I think our crime prevention crew, headed by ASP and Nicola says, they're doing a good job trying to sensitize the community, or the doers and the don'ts, especially the business communities. And we'll continue to appeal to them to be vigilant, especially going to the utility season.
Can you speak to the introduction of spot shutter in Grand Bahama and the importance of it and what it is really?
But I think my boss, Mr. ACP Kannam, gave an update yesterday. I won't like to go behind him, but I think he gave the media in-depth analysis of what it's all about and what it'll be shared for.
Okay. Body cams, can you speak to the body cams issue?
I think all as part of the package when he spoke yesterday, all inclusive.
Okay. Thank you.
One more thing. Shaquille, 8 Mile Rock, missing young boy. We have any updates on that?
We also currently investigating the matter. We reach out because his last spotting was on the sea. We reach out to Barra, Coast Guard, and everybody is being involved. Continue to search to see what we can find. We haven't given up hope on him as yet.
The man missing at sea in West End, Elton Wright.
Yes.
Elton Wright.
Yeah.
He was left on the water by his partner, and family was complaining that when they reported it to the police, the boat in the West End division was down, and so they would have had to use residents' boating to assist in that search. Have you guys fixed the boat yet?
No, we currently working. You see, when you're talking about research, rescue and all that, we have Basra and other agencies, custom, all of them we could reach out to, could assist if something was go wrong with our boat. You know what I mean? 'Cause they are man-made and things could happen at any time. But we have avenues and mechanisms in place to assist if the need arises, and that's what are being done. We reach out to Basra and other agencies to assist in the search for Mr. Wright.
Okay. Any updates?
We're still looking because, you know, the seas are vast here, but we're still out there looking right there. I'm sorry about that.
All right, thank you very much, Media Corps, once again, on behalf of the ACP and Detective Superintendent Ware and his team. We thank you for taking time of your busy schedule to attend this briefing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, I ain't seen no coffee this morning. You was here.
They say when you-
coffee and I ain't seen no donuts. Well, let me let you know, Chief.
In my bag.